bub, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent, the X-Centric Collector, and today, carrying on with the Nemesis BAF wave, we're going to be covering Husk. Let's get into it.
Cerebro online.
Cerebro, pull up file Husk, Nemesis BAF wave 2025.
Accessing file Husk. Nemesis Build-A-Figure Wave 2025. Retail price $24.99. Accessories: alternate hands, alternate head, skin piece, Nemesis torso.
Unlike some of the figures in this wave, Husk was one I knew was coming. After they released Chamber and Monet, I knew it was just a matter of time. And fingers crossed, we're going to see some more Generation X members in the future. She came in the beautiful new windowed packaging with the sweet artwork on the sides and the back, which also includes a blurb that reads, Paige Guthrie, a mutant with the ability to morph her skin into any form, becomes a member of the X-Men, known as Husk. I find it odd they didn't mention anything about Generation X in that blurb, considering that that's the uniform she's wearing. She came with a pair of alternate hands and an alternate head with a screaming face and metal showing beneath her skin, and a really cool piece of skin to peel away, as well as the torso Build-A-Figure piece for Nemesis. Let's take a look at Husk out of the package. Here we are with Paige Guthrie, aka Husk, the sister of Cannonball, and one of the founding members of Generation X, and her Generation X outfit, looking fantastic. I have a special place in my heart for Generation X. So when they did Monet and Chamber back in the Chode BAF wave, I was like, oh man, they're gonna do more. And they did, and choosing her next, it's like they're saving the best for last, because let's be honest, who's left? And you know, but I'm gonna tell you, I wanna see Skin, I wanna see Mondo, and I wanna see Penance. Those three, oh, and Sync. Sync would be another basic one, but they could do some cool rainbow power effect with him, you know, if they were so inclined. But otherwise, he just looks like a human. But I like the monsters, like the crazy looking mutants. And Mondo, jewel. The figure that they had of Mondo back in the day was so cool. And Skin is just gross and awesome. I'd love to see that. It'd be easy to do Skin because they could use those Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic fingers with the long whatever. Yeah, so that would work good. Her articulation is very much like M. So it's double jointed, pinless elbows and knees, which is awesome. But with a lot of females, they do this. There's no ab crunch, and she can swivel up on the top there, but yeah, she can't really look. I mean, yeah, she does. It goes down a little. Back. And her head is really inhibited with the hair. I mean, she got hair in the front, hair in the back, so she ain't looking up or down too much. She does have this upper arm swivel there. She has the upper thigh swivel. There is no boot swivel. Oh, this is kind of like loose on the leg. That's cool. That helps you lift that up so that you can get some more pivot on the ankle there. She's got some on the rocker. Yeah, limited articulation, but her articulation aside, she came with, now this is awesome, the additional head with her screaming in the metal face. And then it came with this piece of skin that, because if you know her powers, she can concentrate and then make her skin whatever she wants, whatever material she wants. Metal, wood, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've done crazy stuff. I think there was like some fiery effect she had at one point. But in order to access it, she has to literally rip off her own skin to get what's underneath to come out. And that's just so cool. You know, and my girlfriend had asked me, does she have to rip the metal off to have skin afterwards? And I'm like, you know what? I can't remember. So we're gonna have to check that out here in a second. But she also came with 2 additional hands. She's got grabbing hands for ripping the skin off of her face. And then, you know, she's got the fisted hands there on her. Again, basic, but good. She's not going to be in most people's top 10 unless you're a huge Generation X fan and just a fan of Paige, but she is a fine addition to Generation X. I am so excited for them to finish this team. I mean, we are not far. Like, just, I don't even need a full wave. Just keep sprinkling them in waves, but please finish it before the decade's out. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's find out exactly how those powers work and dig a little more into the history of Husk.
Husk, Paige Elizabeth Guthrie. First appearance, ROM Annual Number 3, November, 1984. Created by Bill Mantlo, writer, William Johnson, artist. Re-established by Fabian Nicieza, writer, Tony Daniel, artist.
Husk first appeared in ROM Annual Number 3. She was a toddler at the time and came to visit her brother Sam, aka Cannonball, with her mother at Xavier's Institute. It wouldn't be until years later that she would take center stage with a new generation of X-Men in the comic Generation X. She went on to have a brief run as a member of the X-Men from 2002 to 2004, and it was in those Generation X and X-Men books that they really fleshed out her character, and we really got to know who Paige was and what she was capable of. And with that, let's find out what she is capable of, and let's check out her powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities. Transitional Omnimorph. Shedding, the ability to shed skin into a different composition, shape, or size beneath. As a result of shedding, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, flame projection, experienced martial artist.
Husk is what's known as a transitional omnimorph. She achieves this through shedding. Her abilities allow her to shed her skin, revealing a different composition, shape, or size beneath. She has often generated metal, diamond, granite, wood, rubber, and even glass, depending on what's needed for the mission. On several occasions, she has generated a plasma-type form, generating heat and flame that she can also use to project flame-like energy. She's capable of holding these forms for about an hour before she needs to revert back to her original form. She can morph repeatedly without having to stay in any single form for any given period of time. However, too many transformations can become very painful. In certain circumstances, when she's under great stress or trauma, she can shed without control, revealing patchwork forms. Beyond her mutant powers, she's an adept computer programmer and hacker. Let's see how these powers rank on the grid. Cerebro, please pull up the power grid.
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
You can find these grids on the backs of various Marvel trading cards, as well as marvel.fandom.com. First up is Strength. At her base level, she's at a 2, but due to her shedding ability, she can get a strength boost up to about a 4, bringing her to world record bench press strength. When she sheds into either metal or diamond, even granite forms, her muscles become more dense, granting her greater strength. On to our next category, Intelligence. She's at a 3. She has an above average intellect. Being a gifted computer engineer and hacker, as well as growing up at Xavier's Institute, has proven to be an advantage for this young lady, making her a very highly intelligent young woman. Moving on to Speed, another 2. At her base level, she is just a normal human with her speed, but she can give herself a slight boost up to a 3 via shedding, which gives her superhuman speed with a peak range of about 111 to 115 miles per hour. I'm curious what sort of material she would be able to morph herself into that would make her that fast. Most likely something light, but there you have it, she's at a 3 superhuman speed. Next up is fighting ability. She's at a 3 black belt martial artist level. Training with the X-Men will make anybody a formidable opponent, and Paige is no exception. She can hold her own in any hand-to-hand combat situation. Moving on to our next category, and this is where she really shines. Durability. Again, at our base level, she's at a 2, normal human being. But when she sheds and reveals that material beneath, be it metal, diamond, granite, wood, she becomes incredibly durable. She's at a 6, superhuman durability. She can withstand most physical attacks, be it concussive or even extreme temperatures. Bullets, blades, and even bombs will do no damage to this woman when she's in these forms. There have been many times she's been in her normal human form and taken damage, and then she sheds the damage away. This could be viewed as some sort of healing ability as well. And our next category is agility. She's at a 2, normal human agility. I would have thought that maybe when she uses her shedding power, one of these forms would make her a little more agile. Maybe, turn yourself into something like rubbery, but they only have her at a 2, normal human agility. And that brings us to our final category, energy projection. Once again, at her base level, she's at a 1. No energy projection whatsoever. Just like a normal human being, she has no energy projection. But as stated earlier, there have been times she has shed to reveal a fiery plasma form, which brings her up to a 2 and allows her to launch fiery blasts equal to the force of a grenade. Looking at her overall stats, while in her normal human form, she comes across just like a normal person, with no real extra special powers of any kind. However, when she uses her shedding abilities, she possesses great strength, speed, and durability, as well as the ability to launch blasts, making her an incredibly powerful mutant, and a great addition to any team. She can hold her own in battle, and she can hack into enemy systems, whether she's a member of Generation X or the X-Men. Husk is an asset to any team she's on. I would love it if they made a Generation X cartoon in the style of X-Men 97. That would be so cool. And speaking of X-Men 97, Cerebro, let them know.
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 reactions with talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
Please do check out my reaction videos. I have X-Men 97, Legion, as well as Daredevil up, and I hope to be adding a bunch more going forwards. And I can't tell you how eagerly I'm awaiting X-Men 97 Season 2. Thanks in advance for liking and subscribing. I appreciate every one of you that does. That's all for this one. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector reminding you, keep collecting. And until next time, Excelsior!